Great. So, um, one of the things about transmitting any knowledge or teaching anything, there is a there is a pitfall. Just like any any path that you walk on that is worth walking on, there is always a chance of slipping to the other side or this side or that side. Any path that is difficult has this characteristic that if you're not very careful, you can easily slip and fall. And the higher you go, the higher you climb, the more bigger can be the drop. So, one of the pitfalls of teaching anything is the there is something implied. वो मतलब you have to be very careful if you want to avoid this one pitfall of teaching anything. And I just realized this sort of today. Of course, I've been teaching SSY and meditation and all this open door and oneness, direct path, and all this for years and years. And as I have walked this path of passing on this knowledge, whatever my insights, my understanding to others, what I have come to realize is of course one is the perfection of things the way they are. Everything is perfect the way it is. And people are really perfect the way they are. Along with their flaws, along with their mistakes, along with their regrets, along with their weaknesses, along with their strengths, and along with their folly, and along with all their mistakes and all their foolishness, the more we are able to see the perfection in that, the more we are able to accept and love the way things are, the way people are, the more you are bringing forth who you really are. So, this is true about everyone, about you, about me, about everyone in your life. They really are perfect the way they are. There is nothing that needs to be improved on this divine creation. And what the pitfall I'm talking about is that whenever we teach something or pass on knowledge or transmit knowledge or information, there is a sort of a subtle or very, there is an undercurrent implied that somehow there is something lacking in the other person. There's just a very subtle, sometimes of course, lot of teachers, lot of gurus, and lot of organizations, institutions thrive on that. कि देखो तुम में इतनी गलतियां हैं, तुम्हें इतनी बुराइयां हैं, तुम्हें इतनी इतनी तुम दूर हो अपने आप से, इतने तुम इतनी गलतियां कर रहे हो, तुम्हारा विजन ठीक नहीं है, तुम्हारा वाइब्रेशन लेवल ठीक नहीं है, तुम्हारा ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, ये नहीं है. So lot of institutions thrive on that and actually capitalize on that and expect that and promote that and call more and more people into their circle by pointing out to others how much they need to learn and how much far off they are from the truth, from reality, from life, from whatever. And they need to learn something and become better, become better, become better. तो उनको तो जाने ही दो. But I'm saying even for somebody who does not have that as an agenda of you know uh, of somehow increasing the volume of people or the number of people or the amount of fees that they're charging or whatever. I mean, maybe for a good cause, I'm not saying, but still there is that thriving on the fears and the failings and the weaknesses of people to to attract them or to bring them to learn something, and then saying, okay, see, this is how bad you are, or how this is how wrong you are, and this is how you can become better. तो उनको जाने दो. But I'm saying even for somebody, so for us, like in this forum, Open Door, where we have no agenda, no fees, um, if at all there is an agenda, there is an agenda is to create love, uh, to create joy, to create safety, to create um, growth, and to create a better place for everyone in the world, if at all there is that. And even though in the one of the main messages of oneness is the oneness of consciousness, that you and I are truly just figments of the imagination of the great dreamer, and that all there is the dreamer. And all this talk about this particular dreamt character being wrong or bad or needing improvement is all just conversation and fantasy, bearing no truth. And in spite of knowing that, I just thought that somehow, if that is at all implied in this gathering, we want to I want to simply um, clear that up, that this is not a forum for you to improve or become better, because at the level that we want to speak about truth and life, who you are is perfection itself, who you are is joy itself, who you are is love itself. And rather than dwelling on these so-called imperfections, we want to dwell on this. We want to abide in that perfection that you are, along with all your imperfections. In fact, that is what makes each one of us unique. That's what makes each one of us perfect the way we are, perfectly placed in the journey of life to play the game the way this particular player is supposed to play. Golf में ना handicap होता है, मतलब depending on how good or bad you are, you get a handicap number. So then it's a level field. After you get that handicap, then it's a level field, and a better player or a lower player gets that handicap, and therefore they start from the same starting point. So that imperfection is also perfect. And whatever so-called things that you may be blaming yourself for, I certainly have no intention of changing you in any way in that sense. of becoming better or becoming more something. It's simply, we want to simply dwell in the perfection, in the love, in the okayness, in the beauty of the divine, which we want to make more and more present and live from that and live in that, to rest our lap in this, in the lap of love, rather than trying to um, think that somehow we are less, that somehow anyone is less than anyone else. And so even though we know it, I know we know this, we can say it, but I just um, I just want to say to every one of you today that with all of your whatever you are, with wherever you are, in whatever shape, way, form, I just simply adore each one of you. I love each one of you. I honor each one of you. I respect each one of you. And I am so happy that you are all part of my life and we are spending this time together. So that's what I wanted to say. So, um, so seeing this perfection, it's kind of so magical that if we see the imperfection as perfect, it actually becomes perfect. It's just something happens. Something happens, something magical happens, and that imperfection no longer worries you or no longer bothers you. It simply becomes perfectly all right. So, yeah, thank you, Sonal. Each one of us has something or the other. So what? So what? So what? The fact remains that we are capable of, we are all aware, we are all conscious, we are all part of that same stream, we are part of that same river, and we have infinite capacity to love. And that overshadows everything else, overshadows it. Yeah, it's like एक पहाड़ है, उस पे पीछे छोटा थोड़ा सा एक कंकर है, क्या हो फर्क पड़ा, ये पहाड़ पड़ा है. You are those, that mountain, that ocean of love. So I don't know what triggered that, but I just wanted to share that with you, that even though here we are, it looks like I'm, teaching something or something like that. Let it not be misconstrued to imply that there is somebody less and there is somebody more. We are all one, we are all the same. And that connectedness is becoming more and more and more clear somehow. Just the other day, I was talking to my daughter Supriya, the younger one, and for no reason at all, no reason on earth, this place, the name of a place, Gloucestershire, which is like, okay, some little county or town or whatever it is in England, and maybe there's some in USA also, Gloucestershire. So I just, so I tease, I make up names for my kids and all that. So I said, so what's up, Gloucestershire? I said to Supriya, what's up, Gloucestershire? She says, Dad, how did you know? I said, know what? She said, me and my friends, after 3 weekends, are going to be meeting in a place called Gloucestershire in Massachusetts after 3 weeks. I said, she said, I know you didn't know about it because I've not even told anyone yet. We were just planning it. And we were just thinking about it, and here is that word just pops up in my mind. It was amazing. And that oneness, that connectedness is becoming more and more visible and felt and available in my life. Another one, my older daughter and I were, so during the day, during US daytime, especially during weekdays, I never send messages or I never call them, because I know they are, my daughter is in the clinic, my other one is in a session doing therapy, and I never text them or WhatsApp them in the middle of their day. Yesterday, it was probably like 10:30 a.m. in the US, and I sent a WhatsApp message to Karishma, my older daughter. I said, "So how goes the day?" I said, and she immediately called me back, and she said, "Dad, you never messaged me in the middle of the day, and you did, but guess what? I'm on my way home because I just tested positive for COVID, and so did her daughter, my granddaughter. We are both positive for COVID, and I'm on the way home." And it's like you must have somehow felt the need to communicate. And even though I would never have even picked up the phone or seen the message, I'm so busy, but I saw your message and I know somehow you knew. And of course, they're both fine. I mean, it's a very mild, only just little sniffles and things like that. So they're both doing perfectly fine. But there's a lot of this new variant going on in that part of USA and in many parts. And then today, it was our parents' wedding anniversary. Of course, they're both no more, but we love to remember them both as together. We remember them individually on their birthdays and all, but we wanted to remember them together on their wedding anniversary. So the three of us decided, why don't we do something? My dad always loved children. He had a very special place in his heart for kids. And so we said, why don't we do something for the kids who in our neighborhood? And I said, well, there's an orphanage, not even, it's not even 2 kilometers from our house. There's an orphanage. I said, why don't we give something to the kids over there? Um, and so we said, oh, it's a perfect season, mango season. Let's go distribute some mangoes, give some mangoes to each of the kids. So we went there and gave them mangoes today. And one of the girls who was there, it was amazing. She just looked at me and said, finally you've come. She said, we've been waiting for you and for these mangoes. And I've never seen her in my life, of course. And I'm sure she has never seen me in my life. And I don't know how she had that thought that I was going to go. And because we've been planning for 3 days. And the first day we didn't have the mangoes and we went to buy and they were not available. So the woman said, okay, because it was a larger quantity, she said, I don't have enough. I'll get them for you tomorrow. She got them the next day, but they were still little kacha. So we said, we want to give it when it's ripe so they can right away, they can have it right there. So we ended up waiting 2 or 3 days before we actually could go and give it to them, even though we had planned 3 days ago. And here is this little girl telling me, where have you been? That we've been waiting for you. It was amazing. It was amazing. So, um, Madhanida sa सारे मारे मारे निदा सा सारे मादा पा सारे मादा निदा सारे निदा मारे रे म प रे निदा सा सारे मारे निदा सा 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 मा मा रे सा सा मा मा रे नी मा मा रे धा मा धा नि धा सा। जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं, जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं, और फकीर doesn't just mean barefoot beggar on the road. If you are here today in some way, shape or form, you are a फकीर। जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं, one who has realized the first step, that of separation, and then realized that there is no separation, that is a फकीर। जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं, आदमी बेनज़ीर होते हैं, आदमी बेनज़ीर होते हैं, बेनज़ीर, uncomparable। Those who are तेरे फकीर, those who are into consciousness, those who are into the divine, those who are aware that they are that divinity and that they are walking this earth, this life as a fakir because they don't need anything। जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं, आदमी बेनज़ीर होते हैं, जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं। तेरी महफिल में बैठने वाले, तेरी महफिल में, ये महफिल जो है ओपन डोर वाली, उस महफिल की बात कर रहा हूं। तेरी महफिल में बैठने वाले, तेरी महफिल में बैठने वाले, कितने रोशन ज़मीर होते हैं तेरी महफिल में। So this is a tribute to all of you। इस महफिल में जो बैठने वाले हैं वो रोशन ज़मीर होते हैं, तभी जाकर ये महफिल में आने मिलता है। तेरी महफिल में बैठने वाले, तेरी महफिल में बैठने वाले, कितने रोशन ज़मीर होते हैं, आदमी बेनज़ीर होते हैं, जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं। सारने ni da, ni da ni da sa ni da, ni da sa re sa re sa re ni re da ni da sa. फूल दामन में चंद रख लेना, फूल दामन में चंद रख लेना. Always keep a few flowers with you. Okay, listen to this next line. फूल दामन में चंद रख लेना, फूल दामन में चंद रख लेना, रास्ते में फकीर होते हैं, रास्ते में फकीर होते हैं, आदमी बेनज़ीर होते हैं, जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं, जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं. तेरी महफिल में बैठने वाले कितने रोशन ज़मीर होते हैं, रोशन ज़मीर. The last line, this one was too good. फूल दामन में चंद रख लेना, रास्ते में फकीर होते हैं. So the idea is, no matter where you go, you will encounter people who are who have realized themselves. So keep those flowers available to distribute, to give away to them. And the best flowers, of course, is your love, your words, your being. Great. So good. I was just going through some of these old ghazals. So many beautiful, beautiful ghazals. We'll keep remembering them, and I'll share them with you as we go. There's another one along these same lines of fakiri. Man lago mero yaar fakiri mein, jo sukh payo राम भजन में, वो सुख नाही अमीरी में. वेरी वेरी अमेजिंग अमेजिंग लिरिक्स. क्या लिखते हैं लोग बाबा. अब्दुल हमीद अदब इज द शायर ऑफ दिस, जो भी तेरे फकीर होते हैं. अब्दुल हमीद अदब. And the composer is Hari Kishan Pahua, and taught to me by Omkar Havaldar, son of my Guruji Pandit Nagraj Rao Havaldar, in Gorak Kalyan, one of my favorite ragas, one of the most beautiful ragas you can come across. Great. So wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So anyone would like to say anything, share anything, or ask anything? Ask, share. Comments, insights, questions, CIQ. Yes, Kavita ji.
I sent some comments to Tommy.
Yes, yes. I in between I was able to read some of them as I was going. Yeah,
It's very nice. You say
wonderful.
things in a very subtle manner. They reach your heart.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm learning. You are all my teachers. I know based on your reactions, on your expressions, uh, how things are going. Great. Anything else?
I've never heard of this rag, but it's really nice, very soothing.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Gorak Kalyan,
like
check it out. उसमें जो एक
yeah.
बंदिश है very romantic rag actually. धन धन भाग जागे हो गोरी तोरे नैना सलोने मद भरे पिया प्यारा धन धन भाग जागे हो अब की बेल मोहे जाने ना देत अब की बेल मोहे जाने ना देत धन धन भाग जागे हो गोरी तोरे नैना दैट निशाद जो लगता है उधर जो नैना पे नी लगता है गोरी तोरे नैना धसारे सा नी गोरी तोरे नैना सलोने मद भरे पिया प्यारा धन धन भाग. This Vilambit, the Vilambit is a tempo which is unique to only Indian classical music. I don't know how many of you know what Vilambit even means.
लय है वो
लय है वो विलंबित या विलंब यानी स्लो. इट्स अ सो स्लो आराम वाला नॉर्मल नॉर्मल जो टेम्पो होते हैं हम जो सुनते हैं लाइक एनी सॉन्ग यू टेक लाइक व्हाट किसी की मुस्कुराहटों पे दिस इज अ टेम्पो. द टेम्पो इज अप्रॉक्सिमेटली 110 beats per minute. The fast songs which are like really एक दो तीन चार पाँच छः सात आठ that will be at 140 150 beats per minute. Vilambit can go as low as 24 beats a minute and sometimes even less. 24 बड़े आराम से गाया जाता है वो बहुत
It
आराम से.
reminded me of Dilip Kumar singing to Madhubala and Mughal Azam with that feather, so slow
अच्छा
and
हाँ
romantic.
हाँ या
I don't know
या
what song that was in background. Background was by
अच्छा बैकग्राउंड में बज रहा था. It
it
was
was
probably
used
बड़े
by
गुलाम अली
some
खान.
Bade Gulam
Bade
song.
Ghulam Ali Khan sings in that one. It was the first film song that he accepted to sing in,
Yeah,
and he was paid handsomely for it. I mean,
yeah.
he when
He
the
refused. Just then he quoted very high so that they don't bother him, but he got it.
Yeah, he quoted such a high number for those that nobody would offer him. So he said, "Acha, itna de do, main गा लूंगा." And they said, "Okay."
He
And
asked it.
then he had no choice but to sing. And yeah, so he has all sung in that one beautifully. So this Dhana Dhana Bhag, if you you do a search on YouTube by Jitendra Abhishekhi and apne, I think one more is Pandit apne, what is his name? His son,
Jasraj,
not Vimsender, she apna, yeah, it's not that known.
Jasraj,
Pohankar.
yeah.
पंडित पोहनकर एंड देन जितेंद्र अभिषेकी दोनों के जो रेंडिशन है स्पेशली जितेंद्र जी के ओ माय गुडनेस व्हाट अ ब्यूटीफुल कॉम्पोजिशन सो धन धन भाग इट्स लाइक इट्स इन द 48 beats per minute 40 beats per minute nowhere in the world anyone has that temperament or the patience to compose at that lay उस लय में कंपोज करने के लिए तुमको मतलब you have to be in a total surrender meditation
Drunk,
in a
drunk state.
timelessness with no agenda with nothing to go nowhere to go nothing to do only then you can you can sing
In a drunken state.
yeah all drunken with drunken with
With the
life
love of God, yeah.
with love and life yes in that state only you can and it's unique to India.
Nasha.
Nobody in the world dares to sing at such a soft. The closest that comes to this kind of singing is Leonard Cohen, of which we heard one or two songs during in the retreat. So Leonard Cohen is the only English singer, Western singer, who just sings very slow, very aram se. But of course, his tempo is also in the range of 60, 70 beats a minute. He doesn't come in anywhere near 24. But still, he comes very close and he's beautiful. Great. So, thank
Next
you.
time give us some Rag Malkun's song.
राग मालकाउस हाँ उसका तो है ही ना
I like
मन मन तरपत हरि दर्शन को आज दैट इज इन मालकाउस या
अभी टाइम भी हो रहा है
हाँ टाइम भी हो रहा है मालकाउस का राइट I don't know if I know it properly. Let me see. मन तड़पत हरि दर्शन को आज मन तड़पत हरि दर्शन को आज तुम्हारे द्वार का मैं हूँ जोगी आ आ आ तुम्हारे द्वार का मैं हूँ जोगी हमारी और नजर कब होगी तुम मोरे व्याकुल मन का पार दर्शन हरि दर्शन को आज What is it? Let me see. You just sent the lyrics. What is it?
बिना गुरु ज्ञान
मोह
कहाँ
मोह मन तरपत हरि दर्शन को आज मोरे तुम बिन बिगड़े सगरे काम। ओ बिनती करत हूँ, मोर रखियो लाज। मन तरपत हरि दर्शन को आज। बिन गुरु ज्ञान कहाँ से पाऊं। बिन गुरु ज्ञान कहाँ से पाऊं। दीजो दान हरि गुण गाऊं। दीजो दान हरि गुण गाऊं। सब गुणी जन पे तुमरा राज। मन तरपत हरि दर्शन को आज। मन तरपत हरि दर्शन को आज। Another Malcolms is also a minimalist राग. बहुत कम सुर लगते हैं इसको, लेकिन कहाँ कहाँ चला जाता है वो, बिल्कुल. It's my mother's favorite rag. Actually, Malcolms was always her favorite till she heard Darbari from me, and then she said, "No, now Darbari." She switched over. Now Darbari is number one, Malcolms number two. But
एक वो है ना, कोयल लिया बोले अम्बुआ डाल पर,
अच्छा,
क्लासिकल है, मराग मार्कन्स पे।
मालकम्स में
कोयल
अच्छा
लिया बोले अम्बुआ डाल पर,
अच्छा
बसंत की देत संदेशवा। ऐसे आई एम अ वेरी बेसुरा।
अच्छा, नहीं कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. Yeah, it reminds me of another song. Which what do you क्या what was the first line? अम्बुआ की ढाल. एक है वो. Oh my goodness, it must be 40 years since I heard that song or remembered it, but ऐसा ही कुछ है भी. It's not coming, but चलो आएगा, तभी next time गाएंगे. Wonderful. Thank you. Really enjoyed today.
Thank you.
Enjoyed being with everyone. See you soon. Thank you. Love you all.
Feeling blessed.
Keep being the perfect beings that you are, and live in perfection, live in love, live in joy. Thank you.